I am not a former athlete. I've never played sports before. I tried out for cheering. I didn't make the team. And so I don't have any of that experience of, someone pushing me or someone motivating me to keep going, or just having any experience with, running or, no, I don't have any athleticism, history or experience. So me even going to the gym, me even doing something like running half marathons was completely new for me. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amari Khalid and I am back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I built my endurance to be able to run however many miles. For me, the furthest I've ran is about 14 miles. A week from tomorrow, I will be running a half marathon. This will be my second half marathon. Very excited. I'm going to do this race back home where I'm from. So today I have a 7-mile run, and throughout today as I'm getting ready for the run, I'm going to show you guys a lot about what I do to prepare and how I was able to build up my endurance. So right now I'm making breakfast. I'm going to go teach a class today at 9:40. Then I have an eye appointment. After that appointment, I'm going to go and run my 7 miles to get it over with for this weekend. Tomorrow is my rest day. I typically like to do my long runs on Saturdays, that way Sundays it's a full relaxation day. But first I'm going to show you guys my protein pancakes. So for my pancakes, I'm using this brand called Kodiak. These are really popular. I honestly was against it because I was scared of how that would taste, and I didn't want anything that had too many ingredients. They really don't have a lot of ingredients. They're just like all over the place. But they're buttermilk pancakes. And usually I would eat these with some eggs, but I don't have any eggs. I'm out of like all the things. I gotta go grocery shopping at some point today. But so for breakfast, I'm just gonna have some protein pancakes and some berries and call it a day. But nutrition is like one of the top things, as you all know, when it comes to building up your endurance and being able to run for a long amount of time. You want to make sure that you have the energy for it. So before I do any type of long run, anywhere more than like 4 miles, I make sure that I have a good amount of carbs before I do the race. These are carb heavy, of course, and then last night I had spaghetti for dinner using protein noodles, a part of my meal prep, which you can go find in one of my shorts. But yeah, so for breakfast I'm having protein pancakes. Post-workout I make sure that I eat some protein and carbs. Every meal has protein, and then 1 to 2 meals a day have carbs. When you're doing endurance training, you use a lot of energy and you are always hungry for the most part. One thing that I did wrong was eating foods that were carby just because I was like, oh, like I'm burning a lot of calories, I can eat whatever I want. That's not the right mentality to have. You want to make sure that you're fueling with complex carbohydrates. So before a race, it's okay for me to eat like a banana or something that's a little bit more of a simple sugar, but overall you want to make sure that you're eating complex carbohydrates. So potatoes, rice, oats. That's pretty much what I've been eating, even like whole wheat pasta noodles. You just want to make sure that you're fueling your body with the right type of energy that'll sustain you for a long run. So nutrition is key. I'll also touch on this later on in the video, but right now I'm about to eat my pancakes. Okay guys, so I just got back from teaching a class. I ended up doing the class with them. I haven't really been doing my classes, like when I teach them, I just coach. I don't do the workout with them because I'm, trying to make sure I'm not overtraining and not doing too much as I'm getting ready for my race. But it was a very light workout, so I just went ahead and did it. I kind of used it as like a warm-up for today. So before I go to my appointment, I want to talk about a couple of things as to how I built my endurance. So the number one thing is I did a lot of running and I followed a plan. Originally, when I was going to do my first half marathon, it was supposed to be a full marathon, and I was doing it with my sister. We started training like the end of October of 2023. The race was set for end of March. So I had about 6 months to get ready for this race. Mind you, I have no experience with like any type of athleticism. I've never been a long distance runner, any type of athlete at all. I did go through a period in my fitness journey where I was running a lot. I did it for maybe 3 or 4 months within like the beginning of my fitness journey. But I wouldn't say that I'm just an avid runner, or at least at this point in my life. So it was like pretty new for me. I had been running a couple of times a week just because I was kind of inspired by my sister who had been training for this full marathon. So once we decided we were going to do a race together, I found us a plan on Google literally for free. It was a 6-month, or I want to say it was like a 16-week training plan that had like strength training workouts to do. It had nutrition advice, it had stretching, and it also had a plan for running. So it had interval runs, fartlek runs, long runs. Like, it was just already created for me to follow. And I followed that plan up until about December. Once my sister decided that she wasn't going to do the race, I decided, well, I'm going to keep going. And I think at this point I had ran like 14 miles, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a half marathon and just really like focus on getting my time down. So that's what I did. I switched and I did a half marathon. And the number one thing for me is just getting in your mileage. If you look at any like hybrid athlete or anybody who runs, they're gonna tell you you just need to run. Like, you just need to get your mileage in. So every week I was running 4 to 5 days a week, but I was following a plan. So some days I was doing like sprint runs where I was in intervals trying to get my pacing down. And then there were other days where I would do 1 to 2 long runs. So number one thing I can say is to have a plan and know that you can tailor that plan to whatever it is you have going on that week. Like, for me, I've pretty much tailored my plan to what I like. I do 4 days a week instead of the plan that I follow on Nike Run Club. I think that's the name of the app. Nike, let's see. Yeah, Nike Run Club app. It's a free app. I have it on Apple. So if you download the app, I think they have a 5K plan, a 10K, full marathon, and a half marathon, which is what I'm following right now. They have 5 runs a week on there, but I'm only doing 4 a week because, one, I have experience with doing a half marathon. This is my second race, but also, like, I don't think I need to run 5 days a week. Like, I don't have a big goal of like trying to finish the race in a certain amount of time. I just want to finish it. So because I don't have like something specific that I'm really working towards, I know and I trust myself that I can finish the race. I'm not trying to like overdo it to where I'm like training in a certain way so that I can reach a certain like goal or whatever. But you can, by all means, if you want to run 5 days a week, do that. But I wanted to make sure that I'm getting in other ways of doing endurance training. So I'm getting in like incline walks, I'm doing the Stairmaster, I try to do a little bit of cycling, I do the elliptical. Cross training is also very important. It's not something that I really was going to mention just because I didn't really think about it, but that's also a part of my journey. Like, I found other ways to build my endurance, not just with running, but also with like doing the Stairmaster for at least 20 minutes, being able to do long walks, being able to do a cycle workout, and even muscular endurance, which is another point that I'm going to get into when it comes to strength training. But the moral of the story here is that if you want to build your endurance, you have to commit to running regularly and continuously and progressing week by week. So like, for instance, over the last like 2 months, I've progressively increased my long runs. So like, you know, I've went from doing like 6 to 7 mile runs up until last week I did an 11-mile run. So I'm trusting that I'll be able to run 13.1 miles the next weekend. And so with that, you just want to make sure that you're staying consistent. Yes, things will come up, things will happen. I've had to tailor my program, like I said, according to whatever I have going on. But you just want to make sure that you are following some type of plan that's going to hold you accountable. Like I said, you can tweak the plan to whatever you want. And you don't have to be training for a race. If you just want to build your endurance, just look up like a 5K plan or a 10K training plan and just follow that plan. Start off slow and work your way up. Another thing for me is that I continue to strength train. You guys know I've been someone who lifts weights for the past 5 years at this point, so I'm pretty well versed when it comes to strength training. So I obviously was not going to stop anyway, being that that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. But it's very important, and there's so much research about it. You don't want to not strength train while you're doing these long runs, because you want your muscles to be strong and be efficient and able to sustain doing these long runs. So there's a little thing that goes into it though, you don't want to be doing heavy lifts, especially if you're new to strength training and running. You don't want to lift too heavy to where you're sore all the time and you're not able to really run to your best ability. But you want to make sure that you are strength training 2 to 3 times a week minimum. For me, I strength train 4 times a week right now, but it's very moderate. I'm not doing any heavy lifting. I have a leg day, upper body day, a full body day, and is that it? Wait, I feel like I'm doing 4 days a week. Let me check my little schedule here. Okay, so yeah, I have a leg day, upper body, and a muscle meets, which is a full body workout that I do for my job every week. So I'm strength training 3 days a week actually, and that's because I'm running 4 days a week. And so some of those days, like when I'm strength training, I'll mix it with a run, or I'll just do another form of cardio. And then on the other days, like when I'm not strength training, I'm doing specifically just a run with maybe some core or maybe just a lot of stretching. But you want to make sure that you continue strength training so that your muscles are strong, they're efficient, your posture is good, you're able to keep your balance, you're working on any type of imbalances that you may have in your muscles that can, prevent you from being able to run efficiently. So you want to make sure that you are still strength training. Like I said, 2 to 3 times a week. If you need 2 full body days, that's perfect. If you want to divide it up and do a lower body and an upper body day, you can also do some power moves within these things just to help you with your speed and agility. But yeah, I continue strength training. I think when my first marathon, I probably was strength training like 4 days a week. But like I said, now I'm just doing 3 days a week. And with this upcoming week, honestly, I'm probably going to keep strength training. Like I said, I've dialed down like the weight that I'm doing, the amount of sets. I'm only doing 3 sets. So I feel very confident that if I, strength train this coming up week for my race, I'm going to be good. I am dialing down my mileage, of course, so my muscles will be very, ready and set for next week. Today I'm doing a 7-mile run, as I said. So, last week I did 11. So that's a big jump down. So yes, make sure you continue to strength train. If you're new to strength training and you need help, I am an online fitness coach. I can help you with programming, but there are also so many ways that you can get in strength training just from following people on Instagram or looking on Google. But you do want to make sure you're following some type of structured plan. I'm still following a plan where I do the same workouts for 3 to 4 weeks, maybe switching up like the order of my exercises, maybe switching up the weight, switching up the repetitions, doing pyramid sets, doing supersets, things like that to kind of, make it a little bit more challenging and trick my muscles. But I'm doing the same exercises for 3 to 4 weeks. That's been my training program for pretty much this entire year of 2024. The last thing I want to say before I go to my appointment, and then I'm going to come back and do my 7-mile run. This is more so just with running, period, whether you're doing sprints or if you're doing endurance training. You need to make sure that you have the right shoes. There are so many places you can go to get sized, and they'll tell you what type of feet you have, like your arch and all those things that you don't know about, you don't think about. They'll really do that for you and give you shoe recommendations. I have a pair of Hoka's. I got those shoes a few weeks before I did my first half marathon, and I've still been training with those. I have not went and bought me new shoes. Fun fact, I do not like buying shoes. I just spending $200 to $300 on a pair of shoes. To me, it's just I would rather not, but I did want to invest in a very good pair, so probably after this race, I'll get another pair of shoes. But yeah, make sure you invest into at least 1 to 2 good pair of shoes. Train with those shoes on. You just want to make sure that you're supporting your ankles, you're supporting your feet. You want, because you are pressing against hard pavement, if you're running outside. And running is a very high intense form of exercise. It's very hard on your body, on your knees, on your hips, on your ankles, all the things. So you want to make sure that you are supported, and you want to make sure that you can prevent injury as much as possible. A lot of things that you may be feeling could literally be just because of the wrong shoes. So make sure that you are wearing the right shoes. I'm not an expert in that area, so that's why I go elsewhere and I go to professionals and I let them kind of tell me about myself and let them help me decide what type of shoes I want to buy based on my budget, based on my feet, based on my comfort, because you also want to make sure that you're comfortable in whatever it is that you're wearing. They may not be the cutest or the most stylish, but that's not what your goal is. Your goal is to build your endurance or just add running to your routine just for the heck of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go to my appointment, and then I'm gonna come back and do my 7-mile run, and then we'll close out with a few more things that I've done to build my endurance. But so far, we've talked about nutrition, we've talked about having a training plan and being consistent with running, we've talked about strength training, and we've also kind of touched on like how shoes are very important with any type of exercise, but especially for running. Okay guys, so I ended up doing a 10K instead of 7 miles. So I ran for 6.2 miles. And let me tell you, I made a big mistake today, which is why I'm so excited that I was already recording this video. So I did legs yesterday. Even though I was lightweight, I still lifted weights for my legs yesterday. And then today, as I mentioned, I did the class with them and we did some squats and some glute bridges. So I think my legs were like really tired. I could tell a difference. Like, even though I was running heels, I definitely could tell a difference. Like, my legs were very fatigued. And then I was on the phone for the first 3 miles, which I never do. I'm never usually on the phone when I run, just because I like to be focused and in my own thoughts. But I was on the phone for my first 3 miles, and my pace was like 13 and a half minutes. That's how I know, like, okay, yeah, something was off. Mainly the fact that I was on the phone for those first 3 miles. But even after that, yeah, I was like very fatigued, like very. But I wanted to get as close to 7 miles as possible. So I did 6.2. So I want to make 2 notes. One about nutrition and one about mental like strength to be able to do long distance running. So just as much as what you eat before or after a workout matters, what you eat before and after a long run matters. So depending on what time of day you're doing the run, I prefer to do them as early as possible. You want to make sure that you're eating some carbs and proteins before and after your run. You also want to make sure that you're very hydrated. That's something that I kind of struggle with, is just making sure that I hydrate a lot. And that's my goal this week, is to make sure the day before my race that I drink a lot of water and electrolytes. So my electrolyte of choice is coconut water. And so don't get me wrong, the taste of coconut water is disgusting. There are people who literally like drink this out of the carton. I'm not doing that. I put it in my smoothie. So post run, especially if it's like early enough in the day, like it's currently 3:45, I like to drink a smoothie post workout so I can get in a wide variety of nutrients. So I do strawberry. This is like my go-to smoothie combination because I just love it. Strawberries, banana, peanut butter, Greek yogurt, spinach, and I'll do coconut water or milk. But obviously I've been doing coconut water for my electrolytes. I usually would do like little packets of electrolytes, but I haven't been able to find one that isn't like so full of sugar or like a whole bunch of other stuff in it. Coconut water is very high in electrolytes, so it's really great for you for energy and hydration. So this is what, and this is no sugar added. It's literally, the ingredients is organic coconut water and it contains coconut. So there's nothing else in here, which is why it's so disgusting. So before I have that, I'm going to drink a protein shake to get in 24 grams of protein, because I like to have at least, well, 1 shake a day is enough for me. I like to get my protein from my food, but I do like to supplement and have an additional protein shake just to make sure that I'm hitting my protein goals. Makes it a little bit easier for me. So I'm having a protein shake and I'm going to eat half of a banana. I also had a banana before I did my run. Forgot to mention that. But it's only because it had been a few hours before I did my run after I ate breakfast this morning. I taught a class and I went to an appointment, so wanted to get in a little extra energy. So yeah, I'm going to eat half a banana, then I'm going to have a protein shake, and then I'm going to have a fruit smoothie after. And so I literally burned, just to put these into perspective, 846 calories from that run. And that was almost 7 miles versus like when I did 11 miles last week, I burned so many calories. So you're burning so much energy, you need food, like you do. But you want to make sure that you're eating food that supports the runs, that supports your body, that supports, all the things that your body needs. So you want to make sure you're eating real whole foods. If you're just eating a bunch of crap just because you burned a lot of calories, it's not really doing anything for you specifically. It's really just going straight through you, but it's not really providing your body with the nutrients that your body needs. Your body needs glycogen. Your body needs protein. So I always make sure that I'm hitting my protein goal, and I'm always making sure, for the most part, that I'm eating complex carbohydrates. You can also do a meal after you do your run. I usually do a meal, but like I said today, I love like smoothies. Even though it's about to be cold outside, I love smoothies. So I'm having that, and I may be going out to dinner tonight. So, it's nothing wrong with that. And then I have some meal prep in the fridge. I have some chicken and some cabbage stir fries. So I may have that an hour or so after drinking this, but don't worry, I'm going to be hungry. Like, that's just a product of, burning so many calories in one day. But moral of the story is, you want to make sure that you are fueling your body to support what it is you're doing. Making sure that you're having those complex carbs, making sure that you are getting your protein in, you're eating your whole foods, you're staying hydrated. I know some people, they like eat and things like while they're running. Could that help my performance? Maybe, but I've been able to do it without it. So I just prefer to just try to go through without it. Now, when I do my actual race day, I will like take some of the drinks from the water stations, like a cup, a water or a quick like Powerade or Gatorade, whatever they have. I'll do that ever so often. I did for the first time, and I do plan to do that this time for the race. But other than that, I don't eat while I'm running. I just prefer not to. All right, the last thing I want to touch on is the mental strength that it takes to be able to run a long distance. It's really hard. Like, running for long periods of time is really hard. I don't care how many times I do it. I enjoy it for the most part throughout the process, but once it starts to get to where I'm like hitting a new PR, or like this time, I would say like I basically had to like kind of start from scratch again, because I took a break from running after my first race, and each week that I progressed and I added on a mile or two, it was hard. Like, it was really hard to really like push myself to get to that next level. So I will say that like this is not solely about what you do physically, what you eat. It's also about the courage that you have, and to be able to push yourself to do something that your body is telling you that you can't do. Like, you literally want to give up. And that's how I felt today. Like, I kept trying to push myself, because I'm really good at because my pacing, I'll run, and then I'll take a minute break, and then I'll run a mile, like finish out the mile, then I take a minute break. Like, that's how I do my pacing. Like, once I get to the middle, the first 3 miles, I do try to like run all the way through, but I don't run all the way through until I hit whatever my goal mile is. Let me put that out there. But like, once I get to like towards the end where I can walk for a minute, I'm having to really like push myself to keep going. Like, don't stop. Like, you're almost there. It's almost to a mile. You got 0.10 left. You got 0.15 left. Maybe even 0.20. You got one more lap to go. Like, keep going. Like, it's really hard to do that, to like really push yourself. So just know that you're going to have to really motivate yourself. You're going to have to really like tap into almost like another person, to your higher self, that's telling you like, no matter how you feeling right now, you have to get this done. You have to finish it, because you have goals you're trying to reach. You really want to finish this run. Don't stop. Like, just keep going. So just know that if your goal is to build your endurance and you want to be able to run a long distance, whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, whatever, just know that it's going to require you to have to really push yourself and really like, understand that it's not going to be easy, especially if you're not an athlete. I am not a former athlete. I've never played sports before. I tried out for cheering. I didn't make the team. And so I don't have any of that experience of, someone pushing me or someone motivating me to keep going, or just having any experience with, running or, no, I don't have any athleticism, history or experience. So me even going to the gym, me even doing something like running half marathons was completely new for me. And I love it. It makes me feel amazing. It's great to learn that your body can do so many different things. Your body is capable of so much and your body loves you. So with that, it's important to know that it's going to require a lot out of you, out of your own mind, out of you having that confidence and that self-love and that dedication to do whatever it is you are setting out to do. So just know that like building endurance is definitely not easy, but it's worth it. Like the fact that I'm doing a second marathon, if you would have asked me a year ago would I be doing this, I would be saying no. But exactly a year ago, I decided to actually, on my race day is when my sister did her first race. And that's when I got the courage to do it after seeing her do hers. So yeah, it would be a year. If you would ask me a year ago exactly today, I would have said, heck no, I'm not doing no half marathon. What are you talking about? I don't even like running. And honestly, y'all, I still don't like running, but it requires a different side of me. It pushes me. I've been able to reach certain fitness goals and, overall, I do like it. I do think that I've seen a lot of benefits in my journey and how I look. So yeah, so once again, I'm going to do a little recap. So we talked about what you eat, the importance of eating whole foods, nutritious foods before and after you do a run. And just overall, you need to be eating healthier anyway. We talked about how it's important to strength train. So making sure that you're building your muscular endurance. So less weight, more repetitions to help you build that muscular endurance, being able to do more, have more power and strength over a longer amount of time. We talked about having the right shoes. Make sure you go get size. Make sure you're wearing shoes that fit what you're trying to do and that are comfortable for you and that will support your runs. We talked about having a plan and being consistent with running. Especially if you want to do a race, like you want to make sure that you have something to base your training from. Like don't just kind of wing it. Definitely have a plan. Whether you use the Nike Run Club app, you can go on Pinterest or Google, type in 10K marathon training plan, or that's a 10K marathon, 10K race plan, or half marathon, full marathon, or beginning running program, 30-day running program, whatever it is that you want to do. Find a program and stick to it for the most part. Tailor it towards you and what you're able to do. But just stay consistent with running. Get your mileage in. So yes, guys, this is basically what I have been doing to get ready. This is literally all. Like, that's it. And little things like cross training, obviously stretching is very important. Speed work. Like, if you want me to do a video on like all of that, I can go more into detail into specifically what I do to get ready for a race. But on a broader scheme of things, these are the top things that I would recommend to help you build up your endurance. These are all the things I did. Basically, I ate a lot of food, I ran a lot, and I had to really push myself a lot and run even when I literally did not want to. So yeah, I hope you guys got something from this video. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one.